Mr. Cox, and Dominic, Mr. Epperson, Escudade, Mr. Jenkins, Mr. Lynn, Lynch, Mr. McCullough,
Here.
Mr. Pearson, Mr. Smith, here, Mr. Thank you. And ask Mr. Smith to lead us in the prayer, and Mr. Jenkins to pray, please.
Heavenly Father, we come before you today asking your blessing and asking you to give us wisdom on doing the parish business. Father, thank you for the opportunity to serve our people. Thank you for all the things you've done for us, Father. Continue to bless and give us guidance. For it is your name I pray.
Let's face the flag. We pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time, are there any agenda additions? All right. Seeing none, go to visitors. Is Miss Susan Eddington? Not going to be here today? Okay, couldn't make it. Traffic difficulties. Next, we'll go to the administration's report. Mr. Wilson?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Commissioners, President Escudade. We have a couple of things today. I'd like for Mr. Tim Weaver to introduce some new staff members to you all. The road and ordinance, the ordinance on the road was passed recently, about a few months ago. So, and would you go ahead and introduce our staff for us?
Good afternoon, Commissioner. I just want to introduce Mr. Harold Wood, who's going to be our commercial vehicle enforcement officer, and Ms. Tara Engelbert, she's going to be the clerk for that new office.
So, Tim, would you give us a little synopsis of the background?
Well, Mr. Willard, he's retired from the Caddo Sheriff's Office with 22 years, and Tara's been with us for a while as a clerk, moved up to to help us out. So we'll get more into it. Hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, we'll have a vehicle and an office for them and start enforcing our ordinances.
Any question, Commissioner?
No, I told him he had to earn his keep, so he's got to write a lot of tickets.
No. This ain't Greenwood now.
Commissioner, I'd like to thank you all publicly for supporting the OPAO conference last week. It was very successful. It was very high attendance. I think we had a record attendance for that conference. Last time I was here was like 13 years ago. I'd like to also commend Mr. Robert Glass for doing a great job. And I'd also like to extend my appreciation to the comments provided to us at the luncheon by our president, Commissioner John Escudade, on the staff's performance. I appreciate that, Commissioner Escudade. I've gotten a lot of positive comment from the staff, and they heard what you said, and they appreciate that. And thank you, sir. You're welcome. Commissioners, just want to tell you one other thing. I had the opportunity to talk to Mr. Grant Studer last week, and we're looking at perhaps going back to Standard & Poor's and trying to get a AAA rating for our bond rating in the future. And what that means to us is we're already highest in the state, but the state of Louisiana has never received that rating before, but any governmental agencies. So we want to be the first one to get that rating because we deserve it. And we're asking Standard & Poor's to come here on the 11th of October for a site visit to start the process. Then we'll have to do another formal presentation after that. But we think the stage has been set for us to get that AAA bond rating, and we're going to go for it. So we'll give you more details as things unfold. So we're excited about that. Grant has already called Standard & Poor's, and this will be able to entertain that for us. So I just look for us in the future to get that. So I'm optimistic that we'll get it. And that concludes my report for today, sir.
I got you, Mr. Jenkins.
Okay. Is it too late to do an agenda addition? I got caught in the failure when we first began, and I didn't get an opportunity to do it. I'd like to make a motion to extend the agenda to provide for a Thursday meeting to begin at 2:30, which will be an hour earlier than usual. to allow members to attend our economic summit. If I can get a second on that.
Second.
Is there, anybody that wants to be against this motion? All right, it's unanimous. Okay, make your motion?
I'd like to make a motion to begin this Thursday's meeting at 2:30. This will allow members who wish to participate in the economic summit time to attend the meeting and make summit, which is going to begin at 4 o'clock.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to remove our official meeting from Thursday from 2:30, in order to accommodate the schedule of the conference going on. Is there any discussion on that motion? Jerry, do we have adequate time for public notice? Yes. Okay. Now we do. Things germane with it. No discussion? And let's vote on the motion, please. It's unanimous. All right, that's done. Okay, communications reports. I just want to tag on to what Mr. Wilson said about the OPOA convention. It was very well attended. I think we put up. Welcomed our guests. I think I got a good impression of Caddo Parish. Everybody seemed to have a good time. It was very favorable. It's good informative conferences. And if you missed the main luncheon Friday and Secretary Angel/Lieutenant Governor Angel, you missed an entertaining speaker. He was great. Guys from Bridge, and I need to say no more. Anyway, I want to commend the parish and all its effort because I think we really did shine over the past few days. So thank you for that. Next, we have communication reports.
Yes, sir. So District Number 2 wants to keep Mr. Keenan Boylan on the board.
You're a teacher.
And then Lakeview Waterworks District wants to keep Lonzo Stewart on their board.
Very good, thank you. Is there anyone here who would like to address the commission on any matter other than zoning at this time? All right, being none, let's, there's no old business, move to new business, please.
Ordinance 5010, deemed some property to be service authorized transferred to the Christian Services Program.
Been moved by Commissioner Lynch and seconded by Commissioner Jenkins. Is there any discussion on the motion, Ms. McCullough?
No, actually, I wanted to communicate on some communiques and reports, but I'll do it under new business.
Okay. Sorry. I just have a question. What property are we talking about giving them?
It's the list is in your booklet.
Fortunately, we don't have time.
52.
Let's see. That's a lot. Yeah, it is. Has legal gone through this?
Yes, sir.
To meet the criteria?
Yes, sir.
The Danny Malone 3-prong test? As I was told in 1995, the Danny Malone 3-prong test.
Doesn't exist anymore.
All right. Is there any other discussion, Mr. Cox?
Okay, I know it's going for your cause, I don't have a problem with that. My question is, if groups wanted to know that we had surplus up, where do they go to bring it to our attention? Because I've got groups in my area that could use ice machines and, food trays. I mean, where do they go? Do they have to contact us to get on a mailing list or what?
No, sir. That list is given to all commissioners before we bring it to this board. And the commissioners advocate on behalf of their groups and their districts.
So, okay, I don't go to every group, so I don't know what they want. So my question is, can they contact you or the administration at a certain time to get a list? I'm worried more about their taxes and their food trays, okay?
I think it needs to be, it's not official until y'all declare surplus, so anything I give them will be premature.
Okay, well, okay, all right.
It needs to come through a commissioner, David.
Thank you. Question answered.
Any other discussion on this motion? All right, let's vote on the motion, please. That passes. Next item.
Ordinance 5011, deems property surplus and authorizes transfer to the Robinson Rescue.
Thursday. Moved by Commissioner Land, seconded by Commissioner Baker. Move this item to Thursday. Any discussion on this? Vote, please. That passes. Commissioner Thibodeau.
Yeah, I'd like to englobe those ordinances 5012 through
We're not there.
5019.
Second it to move Thursday. Have a motion to englobe ordinance number 5012 through 5019, move to Thursday. Any discussion on that motion? Please vote. Commissioner McCullough? All right, that passes. Next, we have ordinance 5019. Resolution 41, Mr. Clerk.
Yes, sir, that calls a special election to be held in Caddo Parish to vote on adoption for an amendment to the Home Rule Charter.
Moved by President Cox, seconded by the chair. Any discussion? Commissioner Lynch?
Yes, can I get an explanation on this amendment?
Yes, Commissioner Cox, it's your...
Whoever, legal,
Well, it's quite simple. I would like to put this back out to the voters and give them the opportunity to look at something that was changed in 1991 and give them the opportunity to either up or down it as far as term limits, as far as the Caddo Parish Commission.
let me ask, well, I have two questions, I guess. One is, was the Charter Review Committee reconvened to look at this?
Didn't have to.
Okay. I mean, I know they didn't have to, but I thought at the last, well, not the last meeting that we had, but the first meeting we had on this, we were either talking about, according to the minutes of that meeting, we were either talking about reconvening the Charter Review Committee or forming a citizens committee to look at this before we brought it back for consideration to be put on the agenda.
Let me answer.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. We found out that it doesn't have to go back through the committee.
Right.
So that's why I went ahead and wrote it up and put it in front of you today.
Okay.
So, I mean, at that time when we had the charter review, we were given wrong information. We thought it had to go through that. It does not, so.
Okay. What about the citizens committee that we talked about? You decided not to go that route?
My way of thinking is, you represent your district, and just as well as I do mine, I want to put it up to the voters in my district and move it to Thursday, vote on it, and get it on the ballot for November.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, Commissioner Cox, but I just thought the recommendation coming from the committee that was voted on was to form a citizens committee to look at this before we got to this point. So I just want, if something changed, then I just think we should have been advised of that, I guess. But that's fine. I'm fine with it. Thank you.
Commissioner Jenkins?
Does it take 8 votes to pass this?
No.
It does not?
7.
I thought it took 8 votes to put this before.
It's 8. 2/3.
8?
Nope.
7.
I don't believe that it does. I believe it takes 7.
It's 8.
I was told once it
It's
took
8.
8 votes to put it before the public.
Look at the,
Let's just click on that before.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll just need to have that clarified before Thursday,
Yes, that'd be fine.
and I'll do it. I don't think so. Spend a little bit lunch? Lunch? Okay. Any more discussion on the motion?
Let's go south over
Let's vote, please.
Let's move it to Thursday.
Moving it to Thursday. Yes, Mr. Smith. All right, that goes to Thursday. Next item, please.
Yes, sir. Resolution 42 expresses support for Amendment 2 on the November ballot. Increase the capital services.
Moved by Commissioner Pearson. Seconded by acclamation. Commissioner Webb. Any discussion on the motion?
Okay. Speech, everybody listens.
Okay.
I want to speak to this motion real good. This is very important. This was on the ballot last year. statewide ballot, and it failed. And what this does is it gives the parishes more of our mineral and oil and gas money, severance taxes that are paid to the state. We need to make an effort to make our voters informed on the statewide ballot that they support this. This is our resolution of support for it. It will raise the cap to, I think, $2 million a year. Is that correct? That we can receive rather than the current, what is it? We're receiving $800,000, and it'll raise it 2.8? 2.8. Raise it another $2 million to 2.8. Right. We are, our parish is, and all the surrounding parishes with the Haynesville Shell, and it is a blessing, we have other needs, water, road, construction, that kind of stuff, because there's some cost to extract these minerals, and it's only fair that we get more of it. It failed last time statewide, and I truly believe because the voters didn't understand it. At least well over half of the parishes receive this money. So talk to your friends and neighbors, make sure they understand this. This is just more money that's rightfully ours, coming back to us rather than the state keeping it. And there are several organizations have committed funds so that we can get the word out, private funds, that this needs to be supported. So do a little homework on this, please, and talk it up at your town hall meetings and in your community hall. It doesn't cost anybody a dime. Basically, we're just going to get another $2 million a year that comes out of the ground here and goes to Baton Rouge. We're going to be able to keep it.
What do they do with it?
Whatever they want to do with it right now. Mr. Pearson.
Well, thank you, John. I was doing something else. But the idea that we've been trying to get people to understand is absolutely no new taxes. This does not have anything to do with any levy of taxes, new taxes to people at all. Not even a renewal. This is just funding that's going to go to Baton Rouge anyway, that we want our piece of. That's all. And parishes who stand to gain an awful lot from this severance, Caddo is one of them. And so we just need to impress on people that this is not an assessment of any kind that you would have to be dealing with. This is just a request that we get our piece of the pie. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Cox.
One thing that we have been asked by the executive board was to look inside our own districts. Caddo turned this down pretty reasonable last time. Yep. But I think everybody agrees that when they turned it down, it's because of the way it was worded, and it scared people. So I would like to get a game plan together with Mr. Pearson and Mr. President to get out the vote on within Caddo and let people understand, work with the Times, work with the media to get this. This is all money. It is not a tax. So I think if we get the vote out, we should be able to pass this thing. Every vote counts.
Thank you, Mr. Cox. I agree with you. We are going to work closely, and there's some energy companies, and I'm not going to name them, who have stepped up and offered resources so that we can inform the voting public of how important this is, and that'll all be named at this time. Hopefully we can make the public informed. It's been my experience that when a resolution or amendment, when it's not clear, people vote no. They don't understand it, they vote no. And we didn't do our jobs last time, so if you want to get truthful about it. So, Commissioner Baker.
And also, and I agree with you all on it. Also, are we going to also look at having the game plan so we can all be on the same page on actually what we're going to do with it? Because that's one of the questions that some of our constituents are going to ask us. If y'all going to get the money, y'all want us to vote for y'all to get it. They want to know what we're going to do with it.
Well, like when I was 15, my daddy finally handed me the car keys. I didn't know where I was going, but I know I was going. Let's get our hands on it first. Tell them we'll put it to good use, as we always do. Exactly. That we're going to have time to formulate a plan before the election.
I think $1 million must be put into roads.
Yeah, that is true. By law, $1 million has to be put into roads
and it's just so that we can all be saying the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let Mr. Wilson coach you. He's got it together.
Okay.
Any other discussion on this motion?
Will Mr. Wilson be available to coach me on that too, Mr.
I'm sure he would.
Okay. All right.
Okay, let's vote to move it forward to Thursday, please. Mr. Smith? Like to vote? Thank you, that passes. Next item, please.
Resolution 43 authorizes the administrator to work with the Office of Mineral Resources to handle certain mineral interest owned by the parish leases. Move to Thursday.
Moved by Commissioner Smith, seconded by Commissioner Thibodeau. Is there any discussion on the motion? Commissioner Lynch?
Can I get a map or some type of sketch by Thursday in our packet, please, of these areas? Okay, can we make sure that all the commissioners get that? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Lynch. Commissioner Thibodeau?
I'd like to include Resolution 44 and 45. Second. Since they're both,
Motion's been amended to include resolutions 44 and 45. Any discussion on the motion? Any of the motions? If not, we will vote on the amended motion to move those to Thursday. Please vote. Commissioner Smith, you mean to vote no?
No.
Commissioner Smith, say yes. Thank you. Mr. Epperson?
Getting on up there.
We have a special resolution to honor Mr. Kelly.
Move for Thursday.
Move to Thursday. Seconded by Commissioner Lynch. Kelly going to be present?
Yes.
Yes, he is. Very good. Is there any discussion on this motion?
I've eaten at that restaurant so many times.
If not, let's please vote on the motion. That motion passes. Next, we have a consent agenda.
There's something I wanted to...
Okay, you want to bring up something on new business, Ms. Rose?
Yes, I wanted permission to bring up an item, two items under communication reports that
Oh, you just want to give a communique?
I have them added to the Thursday's agenda. Appointments, number 2 and number 3 items under communication report.
All right. Let's shift a second. Second by Commissioner Dominic, that she bring up and be able to make a motion concerning two appointments to be moved until Thursday. Make the motion, please.
I'd like to make a motion for items number 2 and 3 to be placed on Thursday's agenda to be made effective immediately.
Moved by Commissioner Collis, seconded by Commissioner Dominic. Any discussion on that motion? All right. Vote, please. All right, that's moved to Thursday. Commissioner Cox?
I was just informed by our attorney that it does take 2/3 vote on that.
Okay, to move it forward or place it on the ballot?
Place it
Place it on the ballot.
on the ballot.
Right.
Okay.
I'd like to have my lunch at.
I was suspiciously quiet, now I'm saying... Hey, let's see, we're in the middle of August, mark that down, that's one for the year, Sam, I was wrong once for the year, mark it down, we'll see it again. All right, I'll tell you, we have an agenda, immediately following this meeting, we're going to interview our four candidates. Yes, Mr. Thibodeau?
We already added, Mr. Gilpin, we already added what he wanted to add on here.
Yes. Mr. J, yeah, that's already been done.
Okay.
Being no more business, we're adjourned. All right. Hey. You want these resumes passed out or what? I'm sorry, you didn't